Hey, it's Jake with the Intermark Group, the nation's largest psychology-driven marketing firm, and this is the CMO Minute just after the Super Bowl. So, like you, I've been asked a lot about the Super Bowl spots and what spots I enjoyed and the ones we didn't. Now, there are a lot of things to like, but the spots that seem to stand out the most are the ones that were highly emotional spots, like this one from Toyota that reminded us about the brothers that competed in the Special Olympics and won all the medals. Very touching, inspiring, and even generated a tear or two in our household. Now, the thing I want everyone to remember is not only how impactful these spots can be in the moment, but how impactful they can be long term. Now, there's a study back from 1986 that reminds us that emotionally driven spots have much higher recall for episodic memory. So we remember the time and place of that event when it's highly emotional. That's different than semantic memory, which is kind of that rational side of the brain, and we'll talk about that separately. Now, this is important because it reminds us that to be emotionally driven within our creative. And this is because of how we store information from a system one perspective, that we store emotional information literally in a separate part of the brain than we do other types of information. And that's why it can be so powerful. But the flip side of this can be true as well. If you're trying to generate negative emotions with your creative, even unintentionally, if your spot makes me stressed, anxious, disgusted, or nervous, those are the emotions that I will store with association with your brand, which is maybe effective in getting me to pay attention in the near term, but is not the emotions that you want associated with the brand meaning long term. Now, we're going to talk about this large concept in quite a bit more depth about emotional memory and how effective it can be in marketing and how to leverage it best at this week's blog, which, as always, is located at intermarkgroup.com/insights. We'll probably talk a little bit more about the Super Bowl and at least next week. So if you have specific questions, give me a shout out, and we will see you next week at the CMO Minute.